Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Crafting Cave. Today we will be making a heart ornament card, a very simple Valentine's Day card that you can make for your significant other or even just a friend. Let's get crafting. The materials you're going to need for this craft is a pre-made card, cardstock for the hearts, a glue gun, craft scissors, a fork, thin ribbon, a black ink pen, an angel pink memento ink pad or whichever ink you have, a black PM Land ink pad, an ink blender, double side roll tape, photo sticker squares, 3D foam tabs, a paper cutter, adhesive gems, an Inka-Dinka-Doo Valentine's bird stamp or whichever stamp you have available or you want to use, and a stamp block. Okay, to start I'm going to show you how I got the hearts cut out. I don't have a cutout this size, so I'm going to take some leftover heart cutouts that I had from a previous project that I like the shape of, or the size, and I'm going to tape them onto the back of these little scraps that I have, because these are the colors that I thought would look good for this card. You can interchange any color, use any heart cutouts of the sizes you want, but this is what I wanted to use. So I'm going to cut this out. I've used a permanent double-sided roll tape to stick these cutouts to the back side of the cardstock, colored cardstock that I'm using, and I'm just going to cut out the heart shape. Okay, with the hearts now finished, we are going to go on and prep the next part of the card, which is the miniature bows. I'm going to be using the fork bow technique. There are videos, tutorials for this. If you're interested to see a full tutorial from me, mention in the comments, and I will look into getting one. 2 miniature bows for this project. Next, we are going to move on to the actual card itself. I have this base paper because I'm going to be using ink, and it's have something under it so you don't get it on your desk. I'm going to fold the card in half. It already has a pre-scored line because it's a pre-made card. I'm just going to fold it and make sure that it's creased pretty well. Okay, I'm going to be using the Angel Pink Memento ink pad. You can get this off of Amazon. It just gives it a light dusty pink almost. I'm going to be using my ink blender. Again, you can also get this off of Amazon. And I'm just going to blend along the edges. This is nice if you don't want to add another layer of paper. It just gives a nice background without adding too much thickness to your card. So I'm just going to blend in the edges really quick. Have a nice border around the card. This will be the front of your card. Okay, we're done with this. Next, I'm going to take another pre-made card, and but this is going to be for the layer on top of this. I'm going to cut just under the score line. Just under it so I don't have that fold on the front of my paper. And I'm going to be cutting this piece of cardstock 4.5 by 6. It'll be slightly smaller than the actual card, and you'll be able to see the pink border around it. So here I'm going to mark and cut my paper. It is a 4.5 by 6, and it'll go on the front of the card. So for this next part, I'm going to be drawing the lines where the heart ornaments will hang from. You can do this with a ruler, but I like to use the paper cutter because you can hold the paper down with it. paper cutter also makes it easy to space them out. Okay, and here's the front to the card. Next, I'm going to stamp the Happy Valentine's Day sentiment onto the front. Again, I'm using this Inka Dinka Doo stamp set. I'm just going to be using the sentiment. I'm using the PM Land black ink. I'm going to ink up my stamp, make sure there's enough on there to get a full stamp. Okay, now we're going to stamp it in the bottom right hand corner. You want to press down and get an even pressure on it, but not too hard because you don't want to get any excess ink that might have gotten on the edges. And there we go, a clean stamp. This ink takes a minute or so to dry, so you want to make sure it's dry before you move on to the next part of the project. So in this next part, we're going to put the front of the paper onto the card now. I am using these photo sticker squares. You can also use the permanent roll tape. I have used that on other projects as well, and they both work fairly well. So I'm going to get these stickers on here. Center it in the card so you have that nice dusty pink background showing on all sides. Make sure to press it down so it sticks well. Okay. And this is the double-sided tape you can also use. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the heart cutouts onto the paper. I'm going to be using some 3D foam tabs to do this. I'm just going to place one on the back of each of the hearts and then place them at whichever direction or style that you want them in. I kind of like to make them facing different ways as they go down the line. Alright, next we are going to be putting on the little bows that go on. You can put as many or as little bows as you want. I am only using two. Too many, it can start to look crowded for a simple card. So I'm going to put this light pink one on one of the big red ones. Okay, And it's going to go on the corner here. I'm going to put the red one on the other side of the card to kind of balance out the card. Okay. Alright, for this last part, I'm going to be using an adhesive gem. I'm going to be using two different sizes. I'm going to use a kind of a medium sized one. And I'm going to use my tweezers to put these on. The medium sized ones I did every other one, and then the smaller ones I did the opposite of those. So I did realize after starting this that it is easiest just to pick up the gem with the tweezers from the plastic itself rather than taking it off and then using the tweezers to grab it. Alright, and there we go. An heart ornament card. You can put another sentiment stamp on the inside, or you can just leave it blank. But there is our Valentine's Day card. Happy Valentine's Day!